We are finally getting a cave update. Minecraft Live happened, which is basically the Minecon live stream thing, which happens every year. And in that, they announced the cave update, or as it is actually known, the Caves and Cliffs update. They also announced some other stuff as well, some less exciting things, like new Dungeons DLC. They're going to be doing stuff to do with the mountains, the Nether, the End. They showcased all of that stuff, and I might be playing that on the channel. I probably won't be, but you know, it's just interesting to see. Now, because this year's Minecraft Earth Live thing, whatever, was a little bit different, and they had a lot more time this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we got so much information. It is ridiculous. I bet this is like half the update, although they have said this is the biggest update for a long time, and they really want to do this right, just for the community's sake, because we wanted this for so long. So, I've got a list of everything here, which they announced at Minecraft Live. So, Caves and Cliffs update, starting things off. Cave biomes. Many biomes which they announced. Lush caves. They're basically caves full of vegetation, such as the azalea tree, which can be found above and in the lush caves. Basically, if you find an azalea tree, then you can go down a hole right next to it, and you find yourself inside a lush cave. Something they said they wanted to do is kind of increase strategy when mining, so that's where all of that kind of kicks off. The Spore Blossom, a big pink flower which makes particles. A drip leaf plant, so this is really cool. It's basically when you stand on it, it drips, and like kind of a lily pad or something would in real life, reacts to your weight, so it just drops and then you fall off eventually. Glowberries, haha, this is an interesting one. They are a light source, but also a food, and they kind of hang down from the ceilings of the lush caves. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so cool. And also, they announced a new mob which will be found in the lush caves, known as the axolotl. I'll throw up a picture of an axolotl on the screen right now, and then I'll show what they're like in Minecraft probably. They're very cute, and they fight for you. That's the coolest part. They basically attack any mob. I'm not sure if they attack the player. They probably don't attack the player, but they attack any mob, so you can take them on your wonderful ocean adventures, and then they can kind of kill mobs for you, for example, drowned. Another biome they announced was the Dripstone Caves. They have stalagmites and stalactites in. If you don't know, stalactites hanging down from the ceiling, and stalagmites stick up. Basically, gravity affects the stalactites, so if you break one, I think they're going to fall naturally on their own as well, actually. That's kind of cool. It will be like sand, gravel, concrete powder. It will fall and then it will break. Stalagmites, on the other hand, they stay intact, but when you fall on it, it hurts the player, or any mob that falls on it, it kind of hurts them. Which would make sense. It would really hurt to fall on top of a stalagmite in real life, I think. And one of the most interesting, I think the most interesting biome which they've announced, the Deep Dark. And the Deep Dark is going to be right at the bottom of the overworld, as far down as you can go. There's going to be so much there. So, they've announced what's known as the Skulk Growth, and within these Skulk Growths, there are Skulk Sensors, and these are redstone blocks, which emit a redstone signal when it detects a nearby vibration. And a vibration can be a footstep, a player footstep, a mob footstep, a block getting placed, a block getting broken, like an egg or a snowball getting fired, a dispenser going off, literally anything that makes a noise. There is a way to cheat the Skulk Sensors, and you basically just kind of sneak around them and not make much noise. And, well, the good thing about the Skulk Sensors is that you can make it so that it detects a nearby vibration from another Skulk Sensor, so you can technically have wireless redstone. That is my personal favourite feature they announced, the wireless redstone capabilities that the Skulk Sensors have. They also announced another mob that works basically like the Skulk Sensor does. It's blind, you can find it in the Deep Dark, and it reacts to vibrations instead of sight. And it's known as the Warden, and it is absolutely terrifying. This is an interesting one. They announced Amethyst Geodes, and these are basically going to be like crystals which you can find, and you can pick up the little crystal plants, but you won't be able to get any more of them, because they grow on a very specific block that is unobtainable. Kind of like bedrock, like the mob spawner block. They're all unobtainable, and the block that the Amethyst Geodes grow on is also unobtainable. So you kind of to get these shards of the crystals, you're gonna have to go out and find the specific block that it grows on. Why are you gonna need these crystals, do I hear you ask? Well, you see, you can combine them with another special material, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute, to create a telescope. It basically works as you'd expect a telescope to. It zooms in, and it's basically Optifine, but worse. But for us Bedrock players, it's the best we're going to get. Copper! A new ore, copper ore, which you'll find in veins, not blobs, throughout the overworld. There's copper blocks, slabs, and stairs which you can make, and well, this is a really good, interesting thing. Over time, the copper building blocks, like the slabs, stairs, and blocks, they go green, like copper in real life. You know the Statue of Liberty, it's made of copper. And it used to be, like a long time ago, golden, bright, shiny, but now it's green. And that's because of aging. So this will be very interesting to actually see some history in physical form added to your Minecraft world. Other stuff you can make with copper, a telescope of course, and an item known as the lightning rod. And this basically attracts lightning so it doesn't hit your builds. It's really quite useful. And the reason they're adding this now is because Jeb wants it so that all bad things which happen in Minecraft are either involved with the player or are the player's fault. For example, falling in lava, getting blown up by a creeper. They all involve the player. So we don't add natural disasters, and the closest thing we have to natural disasters is lightning, so they want to kind of prevent as much bad things happening from lightning as possible. So that's what the lightning rod does. Now we're getting into the juicy stuff. They announced bundles, which are basically bag type things, which will make it so that you can have 64 of any item into one slot. It only fits 64 items, so say you had 32 stone bricks and 32 seeds that you wanted to put into a one inventory slot so you can have more room, then you can do that now. However, you can't have more than one stack. No more than 64 items in one bundle at a time. This is an absolute game changer. Archaeology. You're going to be able to find dig sites as natural structures generated throughout the world. You can craft a brush, and you can kind of brush away some of the debris in the dig sites, and you can potentially get some special things, like shiny blocks, diamond blocks, emerald blocks, or also ceramic shards, and you can put these ceramic shards on a clay pot, arranged in whatever order you like, and then you can take a flint and steel, fire the clay pot, and you've got yourself your own customized clay pot. The last part of the caves and cliffs, improved cave generation, and it looks absolutely beautiful. The first time I saw it, I nearly cried. So you got cave lakes, absolutely huge lakes underground, huge caverns as well, and that creates naturally generated waterfalls. And the cave biomes have variation because they can be small, tiny little cramped caves, and also they can be huge caverns with beautiful, huge like pillars and stuff. It looks so pretty. I'm really looking forward to it. Now we move on to the cliffs part of caves and cliffs. The cliff basically refers to the mountains which we voted for in the last mob vote. It's, well, everything that they said they were gonna do basically. The mountains look absolutely amazing. Here's a picture of what the new mountain generation is going to look like. It literally looks phenomenal. I cannot wait. The snow is snowier than before. That just basically means there's going to be more snow, and they're also adding powdered snow, which basically means that when you step on it, you fall through, kind of like a trap. And goats, of course. They are really ugly. They knock you off the mountains, they knock mobs off the sides, and they can jump really high. That's basically it. And we come to the verdict of the mob vote this year. Well, the last few years we've had biome votes, and the first year we had a mob vote that added one of the most annoying mobs in Minecraft. Did the community mess it up this time? I would not say so. I personally wanted either the Archaeology or the Moo Bloom to win, but the Glow Squid somehow managed to win over everyone. And, well, the plus side of this is that they can't really mess it up like they did with the Phantom. Like, the Glow Squid, it's just a squid that glows. Like, if it does something cool, then great. But if it's rubbish, then, well, it doesn't really change anything. It's just a squid that glows. At least it's not annoying like the Phantom. That is everything Caves and Cliffs related that they announced at Minecraft Live. Oh boy, this is going to be great. I hear you now, comment section, I hear you. When is this update going to get released? Okay, well, I have some bad news for you guys. We have to wait 10 months for this update to come out. They said in the live stream, summer 2021. That was like July or August of 2021. So that's 10 months. But I do have some good news. They're probably going to start the snapshots sooner rather than later. Because, well, if they've announced this much at Minecon Live, then how much more is there to come?